What is going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you about ticker HCWC. I want to break it down on what just came out from the company itself and why the company is massively misleading its investors. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So I have been covering HCMC / converted over to HCWC for roughly 2 years. And I think at one time there was a lot of high expectations. Since then, the company has just dropped the ball massively. And it's kind of funny because way back in 2022, they issued their 4-point plan on how to gain shareholder value. But since then, the stock price has gone down 99%. So getting right to it though, as far as the company itself, it is sitting at 57 cents. So ultimately today it did hit a all-time low of 47 cents. So them trying to gain shareholder value when this IPO'd at roughly $10, this is absolutely decimated shareholder value. But aside from that though, they did put out a couple pieces of news recently and I wanted to talk about them. So starting off looking at some of the recent news, they did put out news yesterday, and then to kind of mask it, they did put out news today. So ultimately, for those of you that have been following my channel, I've been very much accurate on where this is going. And so ultimately the next step is a reverse stock split. And it's very interesting. I think management does feel investors are really stupid because they put out this news as though it is positive. So Healthy Choices Wellness Corp strengthens balance sheet through market price debt for equity conversion. So goes over that HCWC today announced that existing lenders have converted $450,000 of outstanding debt into shares of the company's Class A common stock. This transaction strengthens the company's balance sheet and reduces its debt burden. So if someone didn't know anything about HCWC, they saw this news, it's kind of alluding to essentially them buying back debt. But there's a lot more that they're not really saying. So essentially, when it comes down to them buying it back, that is linked to this right here. So the convertible preferred stock, what they really loaded up on. And so essentially, a lot of these preferred / kind of toxic debt instruments are massively so damaging. So when it comes down to a lot of these conversions and the ratios, the lower the price, the more shares are issued. Because of course, based on a lot of these preferred stock, it does have a set payment structure. And so ultimately that's kind of set payment is fixed with the share price. So if the share price goes down, that means more shares are issued. It is very common, just a basic math, right? It's nothing overly complex, but based on this news that did come out, it looks as though they're actually doing something positive, but they're not. They do not get this $450,000. It does get as essentially taken off as debt from their balance sheet, but it's only just one of most likely many payments that need to be done. So with this being a 6 million market cap company, this is absolutely horrific. So not only are they on the verge of a reverse stock split, which is going to be coming fairly soon, because as of March the 4th, they are on day number 20 of it being below $1. So as long as they hit day number 30 consecutive, that does mean that they are going to be deficient based on the NASDAQ rulings. And so they will be getting a extension for them to rectify the deficiency / aka reverse stock split. So honestly, this company is destined for failure. As long as they have the current management, it's going to fail, unfortunately. And this is why it's going down so much so fast. It's because nobody wants to touch it. Nobody wants to buy it at all. So like I said, they did put out that news trying to make it look as though it is optimistic, but because of all their preferred stock that they do have, it is just absolutely so damaging for so many different aspects. So I've already kind of talked on that in many previous videos in the past, but it's interesting that they're actually putting out news to spin it off as positive. And then just to mask that news, they do have this. So Healthy Choices Wellness launches unified rewards program across all banners. So this is just whatever, it's fluff. Again, it is just used to mask that news that came out yesterday. So like I said, this company is absolutely destined to fail, and it is because of management is arguably scamming everyone out of everything, and B, it is because of this preferred stock. So before it even rolled over, before the spinoff was even announced through the S1s back in September, I stated that, hey, this preferred stock, these debt instruments are going to be the demise of HCWC, because at the time, the date, nothing was really announced, but HCMC was already taking on debt under HCWC, even though nothing was officially formed yet. So that was also a massive, massive red flag. So there's so many just like things that you need to avoid from this company. And regrettably, I think it did kind of screw over a lot of investors. A lot of people got in thinking that this was going to be something very, very big, but unfortunately management just screwed individuals. And even if you get in right now, you are still going to lose, most likely in the next 6 months, another 99% of your equity. So ultimately, the next steps are within the next 10 days, business days, the New York Stock Exchange is going to serve HCWC with a deficiency notice. So they will be given a grace period to rectify the deficiency, but that's not going to cut it, because HCWC is just going to do a reverse stock split. So that's just going to escalate everything, because by them doing a reverse stock split, price going down, that means more of this right here, the preferred stock, the more shares that are going to be issued. So it's what they call a death spiral. A lot of these toxic debt instruments prompt a death spiral of the stock. So honestly, HCWC should have just spun off what they wanted, but kept it OTC. They should not, like, this company never should be dabbling with the big players, big exchanges. They deserve to stay OTC. Management has failed numerous times, and honestly, they will continue to fail. So even after this, they probably will launch another company, because I've already done videos, like, they have a very bad track record, and they're going to flop that future company. I can easily predict that. And honestly, I'm going to learn my lesson early on, and I'm going to short that company, regardless of what type of thing that they're trying to do. With the current management, they are going to destroy everything that they do touch. And so, yeah, that's just my 2 cents. Honestly, it's getting very tiresome to see people even very remotely hopeful about this company. This company has done absolutely nothing but just kill just any hope of regaining their sentiment. So let me know your thoughts on this. I don't have any shares, on a side note, not long nor short of HCWC. I've actually never owned HCWC because I didn't participate in the spinoff. I sold HCMC a long time ago, but because I've been covering it for a very long time, kind of felt compelled to follow through and go over exactly what all of this was saying. And as I even brought up in videos before the spinoff was announced, the S1s did point out that management was anticipating a pullback to roughly $2, despite the IPO at 10. So it's been an interesting ride, but nonetheless, I think investors can use this as a very costly learning lesson, that you need to invest in the management. Good management, not this crap that this company is dealing with. So let me know your thoughts on this. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And if you are looking for good buy signals, not just flops like this, pop over to my Patreon and give good buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point, so definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.